Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Please take your seats.
Good evening and welcome to this meeting of the Rochester City Council. The meeting will come to order and I ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Evans.
Present.
Councilmember Gruber. Here. Councilmember Harris. Councilmember Lupien. Here. Councilmember Ortiz. Here. Councilmember Patterson. Here. Councilmember Peel.
Here.
Vice President Lightfoot.
Here.
President Scott.
Here. Ask the council to please rise for a moment of silence. Councilmember Gruber, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now move to special recognition ceremonies. I'd ask representatives of the League of Women Voters and Mayor Warren to please join me at the podium to celebrate their 100th anniversary.
Good evening, and thank you all for joining us here tonight. We are recognizing milestones for two very special organizations in our community, the League of Women Voters, at this moment, right? You can't run for office and get involved with a campaign or advocate for local issues without coming across the great work of the League of Women Voters, which this year is celebrating its 100th anniversary. Judy, Kimberly, to recognize 100 years of work making democracy work by providing voter services, get out the vote activities, registering people to vote at naturalization ceremonies, and much, much more. It is our honor to present to you with this special proclamation, and I'm only going to read part of it, and I'm asking Council President to join with me as well. The LWV of Rochester metro area is one of over 1,000 local leagues across the USA. In addition to such well-known activities as providing voter information services, sponsoring candidate forums, and the Fair Election Practices campaign, Rochester's local league also conducts voter registration events, including all naturalization ceremonies, collaborates with local high schools as part of their participation in government classes, conducts a variety of educational forums focused on public policy issues, engages in lobbying and grassroots advocacy, and
The City of Rochester honors and congratulates the League of Women Voters on its 100th anniversary and commends the League for its significant contributions to empowering voters and making democracy work. The city also recognizes the significant and active role that our local league has taken throughout the years.
now therefore we, Lovely A. Warren, Mayor of the City of Rochester, New York,
And Loretta C. Scott, President, City Council,
do hereby proclaim February 14th, 2020 to be League of
Women Voters Day
in the City of Rochester. Yep, I see you. Excuse me here.
The League of Women Voters of the Rochester metro area is honored to accept this proclamation on behalf of our dedicated volunteers and in recognition of the many achievements of our National League. The League is dedicated to empowering citizens to use their vote and other forms of civic engagement to make themselves and their communities heard. And we work diligently to provide nonpartisan sources of candidate and election information. We are grateful to the positive relationships we have within the city that facilitates our work. In particular, thanks goes to the Office of Special Events, the Rochester Public Market, and to the Schools District's Office of Parent Engagement and its many high school social studies teachers. The League is energized by the recent New York State voting reforms, such as early voting and pre-registration of 16 and 17-year-olds. And we look forward to ever stronger relationship with the city as we continue service to this community and to making democracy work for all.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll take a picture.
It is truly an honor to be in this room of civically engaged citizens in the city, and we want to put our arms out and welcome you. The League of Women Voters loves to have men in our organization. We love to have diversity in our organization, and we're all here trying to make democracy work for all. Please know you're invited.
Now we would like to invite Kelly McCormick Sullivan, President and CEO of the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Rochester, to please come forward. Joining us here in the audience tonight are other members of the Ronald McDonald House and their newest board member, city employee Kiera Warren and her son Camden. Do you want, I saw her, oh, she's right here. Oh. I saw you in the back. Camden is City Hall's miracle baby, born 16 weeks premature and weighing just 1 pound. Kiera and Camden received world-class care at the Golisano Children's Hospital. During the months spent in the neonatal intensive care unit with Camden, Kiera found comfort and respite in the Ronald McDonald House family room. For 30 years, the Ronald McDonald House has brought comfort to so many children and families like Kiera's. It's their 30th year doing so, and so we would like to present you all with this proclamation and tell you thank you very, very much for taking care of Kiera and Camden and families like them. The Ronald McDonald House Charities of Rochester, New York celebrates its 30th anniversary this year with an impressive record of achievements. The Rochester, New York chapter has proudly exhibited their commitment to strengthening and improving our community to ensure that Rochester will continue to be the best in delivering pediatric care. And
whereas the City of Rochester commends the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Rochester for 30 years of outstanding contributions to our community, as it also celebrates the 15th anniversary of its house within the hospital and 5th year of its Ronald McDonald Family Room at Golisano Children's Hospital.
Now, therefore, we lovely A. Warren, Mayor of the City of Rochester,
And Loretta C. Scott, President of the City Council,
do hereby proclaim February 18th, 2020 to be Ronald McDonald House Charities of Rochester, New York Day in the City of Rochester.
Thank you so much to the Mayor's Office and to City Council for having us here tonight. It was 30 years ago, actually today, February 18th, 2020, that we opened the Westmoreland House, which is our main program. But over the years, 30 years later, we now have 6 programs across the community, many of which are supporting folks right here from Monroe County. And we firmly believe that we are a critical part of the delivery of pediatric care. We know we have outstanding medical care in Rochester, and because of our programs and services, we believe that we're facilitating access to that care. So today is a wonderful day to step back and reflect and celebrate on that. I'm going to give a shameless plug too. We're 100% fundraising. So if anyone would like to learn more or donate, go to our website. Thank you to our Director of Communications, Crystal Ellis, who's here, to Kira for helping facilitate this with her beautiful Guy Camden, our Vice Chair, Fernando Santiago, and our Director of Programs, Daniel Howard. So thank you.
Next, we have the approval of the minutes by Councilmember Evans.
Thank you. Resolved that the minutes of the organizational meeting on January 2nd, 2020, and the regular meeting on January 21st, 2020, be approved as published in the official sheets of the proceedings.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries 8-0.
The following documents are hereby directed to be received and filed. Quarterly reports, NBD Loan and Grant Report, December 31st, 2019. Quarterly reports, Schedule of Revenue and Expenditures, December 31st, 2019. The Council submits disclosure of interest forms from Councilmember Gruber on introductory number 56, Councilmember Harris on introductory number 61, introductory number 63, and introductory number 64.
It is time for the presentation and reference of petitions and any other communications. Are there any petitions? Okay. Hearing none, we'll now move to reports of standing committees and action thereon. Councilmember Evans, the Finance Committee report, please.
Thank you, Madam President, and to the Council. The Finance Committee recommends for adoption the following entitled legislation. Introductory number 31, authorizing an amendatory agreement for independent legal counsel. Introductory number 32, amending bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York. Introductory number 33, authorizing an agreement for a supervisory skills training program. Introductory number 34, authorizing an agreement for computer training services. Introductory number 35, authorizing an agreement for the 2020 Rochester International Jazz Festival. Introductory number 36, authorizing an agreement for the Gus Macker 3-on-3 tournament. Introductory number 37, authorizing an amendatory booking and production services agreement for the 2020 Rock Summer Soul Music Festival. Introductory number 38, authorizing a mandatory agreement to provide for sound, lighting, staging, and power production services for the 2020 Rock Music Soul Music Festival. Introductory number 63, amending bond ordinance number 2020-3 to finance the cost of improvements to specified city school district schools. And introductory number 64, amending bond ordinance number 2018-381 to finance the cost of improvements to specified city school district schools. This report was respectfully submitted by Michael A. Patterson, Vice President Willie J. Lightfoot, Councilmember Lachey D. Harris, Council President Loretta C. Scott, and myself, Malik Evans.
Thank you, Councilmember Evans. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 31, legislation for an amendatory agreement for legal services relating to the Police Accountability Board. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 32, legislation rescinding authorization of previous bonds. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber,
Yes.
Councilmember Harris, Councilmember Lupian,
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz, Councilmember Patterson,
Yes.
Councilmember Peel,
Yes.
Vice President Lightfoot, President Scott.
Yes. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 33, legislation authorizing an agreement for supervisory skills training program. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 34, legislation authorizing an agreement for computer training services. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 35, legislation authorizing an agreement for the 2020 Rochester International Jazz Fest. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 36, legislation authorizing an agreement for the Gus Macker 3-on-3 tournament. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 37, legislation authorizing an amendatory agreement with Experience Live LLC relating to the Rock Summer Soul Music Fest. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 38, legislation authorizing an amendatory agreement with Northeastern Production Systems, Inc., relating to the Rock Summer Soul Music Festival. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 63, legislation amending bond ordinance number 2020-3, relating to the capital improvement program for the city school district. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber, Councilmember Harris, Councilmember Lupian,
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz, Councilmember Patterson, Councilmember Peel,
Yes.
Vice President Lightfoot, President Scott.
Yes. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 64, legislation amending bond ordinance number 2018-381, relating to the capital improvement program for the city school district. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber, Councilmember Harris, Councilmember Lupian,
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz, Councilmember Patterson, Councilmember Peel,
Yes.
Vice President Lightfoot, President Scott.
Yes. Motion carries 8-0. Councilmember Patterson, the Neighborhood and Business Development Report, please.
To the Council, the Neighborhood and Business Development Committee recommends for adoption the following entitled legislation. Introductory number 39, authorizing the sale of real estate. Introductory number 40, authorizing agreements for the Asset Control Program. Introductory number 41, authorizing lease agreement for a portion of 855 West Main Street. Introductory number 42, resolution approving appointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Introductory number 43, authorizing a lead agency agreement between the City Council and the Mayor regarding environmental review. Introductory number 44, authorizing agreements and funding for the city's RISE program. This report is respectfully submitted by Council members Mary Lupian, Jacqueline Ortiz, Council Vice President Willie J. Lightfoot, Council President Loretta C. Scott, and myself, Michael A. Patterson.
Thank you, Councilmember Patterson. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 39, legislation for the sale of 2 properties. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 40, legislation authorizing agreements for the Asset Control Area Program. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 41, legislation authorizing a lease agreement for 835 to 855 West Main Street. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 42, a resolution approving an appointment to the Zoning Board. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 43, legislation authorizing an environmental review lead agency agreement. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 44, legislation for the city's RISE program grant. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Council President,
Yes.
just a quick question on that.
Councilman Patterson.
Just wondering, we've had some concern from the community regarding this grant and the distribution of funds in it. Is it possible to, I don't believe it is, but is it possible to change the distribution of funds on the city's part all by itself, or what would be the process for doing that if that was something that the city were interested in doing in the future?
It's not possible to change it because this was an extensive process with the Attorney General's office through Harvard Ash Team. And, you know, this was a 6-month process that led to an application through community engagement of identifying 5, subjects that we were pursuing. Relative to the Code Enforcement Abatement Fund, we didn't want to over budget it because it's a 2-year grant. And if you don't spend it, it likely gets swept after 2 years. So, we'll watch the fund, and if we feel like it needs more money, we'll work to identify more money.
Thank you.
President Scott? So thank you very much, Gary. Appreciate that statement. And I just would like everyone to know, we hear you. We absolutely do. We would like you to understand that this is a start. And that we would like to continue working on this. The policy obviously has not been completely drafted yet. We are looking to ensure that all parties are at the table to be able to do that. And I think that if we look at a year ago, this did not exist at all. And that obviously with $200,000 being set aside, it's a huge step in the right direction. You have dedicated folks in the administration and on this council that will absolutely continue to work with you as this policy gets developed. Let's get that right. And as Gary stated, we will ensure that if extra funds are needed, that we will find a way to do that. So please stay with us. It is a start, not an end.
Councilmember Lupe?
Yeah, I would also just like to say I appreciate how much conversation has been around this issue with the Department of Neighborhood and Business Development and my fellow colleagues. There's a lot of concern and care put into making sure that these situations are going to get resolved. I will say that I think that the fund, in order to have a program that really meets the needs of, a lot of the health and safety issues, that I'd like to see more money in the fund, knowing that, it's a potential that we wouldn't use it, but I'd like to have it there, just knowing that it's available should it be needed. So thanks.
I think as our commissioner has already indicated and Councilmember Ortiz has stated, this is a start. We had an opportunity to apply for a grant. The administration worked very, very hard. I must commend Commissioner Kirkmeyer and Jill and the team for the hard work that they put into this application, because every city did not receive it. Working with the tenants as well as our refugee population, we put forth a application that was funded, and we want to thank the Attorney General for her assistance and for providing these funds. But they also indicate what they want it spent on, and we focused on several different areas, and we have to comply with that. We do have other programs with the city that landlords can apply for. We have exercised even on private property rights to go in and repair boilers and do things that legally, is questionable to get our money back for the taxpayers of the city. And we will continue to make sure that we work collectively, not only with council, but with the tenants unions and the landlords to ensure that health and safety violations are dealt with. We have Rochester is a model for the nation when it comes down to code enforcement and how we utilize code enforcement. And so working together, I believe that we've been able to accomplish a lot, and we want to continue to do that work. We do not want the Attorney General's office to look at us putting money just in a pot and letting it sit there. Every dollar that we receive, we want to be able to use and for it to be spent, and we plan on doing that. If at any point there is a challenge here where we see more violations and want to be able to use, and we will have to come back to council to replenish that fund, we definitely will make sure that that's a top consideration.
There are no additional comments. All in favor of introductory number 44, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Motion carries 7-1. Councilmember Gruber, the Parks and Public Works Committee report, please.
To the Council, the Parks and Public Works Committee recommends for adoption the following entitled legislation. Introduction number 45, bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1,900,000 bonds of said city to finance a portion of the city's 2020 water main cleaning and cement lining project of the distribution system water main renewal program. Introduction number 46, bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $600,000 bonds of said city to finance a portion of the city's 2020 cured-in-place pipe project of the distribution system water main renewal program. Introduction number 47, authorizing a funding agreement for the Blue Cross Arena upgrades project. Introduction number 48, bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $1 million bonds of said city to finance the cost of the Blue Cross Arena upgrades project. Introductory number 49, authorizing an engineering design services agreement for the 2020 Preventative Maintenance Group 11 project. Introductory number 50, authorizing an engineering design services agreement for preventative maintenance repairs to the East Main Street Bridge over CSX transportation right-of-way. Introductory number 51, authorizing agreements, land acquisition, and funding modifications for the East Main Street Improvement Project. Introductory number 51A, authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance of 100% of the federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligible costs of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefor, East Main Street reconstruction, North Goodman Street to Culver Road. Introduction number 52, authorizing an amendatory agreement for designing police department section offices. Introduction number 53, authorizing an amendatory agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation for snow and ice control. Introduction number 54, authorizing an amendatory agreement for the Rock the Riverway Management Entity Study. Introductory number 55, authorizing an agreement for the illumination of High Falls. And introductory number 56, bond ordinance of the City of Rochester, New York, authorizing the issuance of $770,000 bonds of said city to finance the costs of the Rundle Library Structural Terrace Improvements Phase 4 project. This report was respectfully submitted by Councilmember Malik Evans, Councilmember Jose Pio, Council Vice President Willie Lightfoot, Council President Loretta Scott, and myself, Councilmember Mitch Gruber.
Thank you, Councilmember Gruber. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 45, a bond ordinance for the 2020 water main cleaning and cement lining project. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris? Councilmember Lupien? Yes. Councilmember Ortiz? Yes. Councilmember Patterson? Patterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Pio?
Yes.
Vice President Lightfoot? President Scott?
Yes. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 46, a bond ordinance for the 2020 water main cured-in-place pipe project. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris? Councilmember Lupien? Yes. Councilmember Ortiz? Yes. Councilmember Patterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Pio?
Yes.
Vice President Lightfoot? President Scott?
Yes. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 47, legislation authorizing a funding agreement for the Blue Cross Arena upgrades project. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 46, a bond ordinance to finance the cost of Blue Cross Arena upgrades project. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris? Councilmember Lupien? Yes. Councilmember Ortiz? Yes. Councilmember Patterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Pio?
Yes.
Vice President Lightfoot? President Scott?
Yes, motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 49, legislation authorizing an agreement with CSX for services related to the 2020 Preventive Maintenance Group 11 project. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 50, legislation authorizing an agreement with CSX for services related to the East Main Street Bridge. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 51, legislation authorizing agreements, land acquisition, and funding modifications for the East Main Street Improvement Project. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 51A, legislation authorizing the implementation and appropriation of funds for East Main Street reconstruction. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 52, legislation for an amendatory agreement for the design of police department section offices. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Motion carries 7-1. Introductory number 53, legislation for an amendatory agreement with New York State DOT for snow and ice removal. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 54, legislation for an amendatory agreement for the Rock the Riverway Management Entity Study. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Motion carries 7-1. Introductory number 55, legislation for an agreement for the illumination of High Falls. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 56, a bond ordinance to finance the cost of the Rundell Library Structural Terrace Improvements Phase 4 project. This requires a roll call.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Gruber?
Abstention.
Councilmember Harris? Councilmember Lupian? Councilmember Ortiz? Councilmember Patterson?
Yes.
Councilmember Pio?
Yes.
Vice President Lightfoot?
Yes.
President Scott?
Yes. Motion carries 701. Vice President Lightfoot, the Public Safety, Youth, and Recreation Committee report, please.
Thank you, Madam President. The Public Safety, Youth, and Recreation Committee recommends for adoption the following titled legislation. Introductory number 57, appropriating federal forfeiture funds and authorizing an agreement to support the Police Department Community Engagement Program. Introductory number 58, authorizing receipt and use of grant funds, amending the 2019-20 budget for Project Clean. Introductory number 59, authorizing funding agreements and amending the budget related to the Rock City Skate Park. Introductory number 60, authorizing an agreement for a tour of historically black colleges and universities for city youth. Introductory 61, authorizing an intermunicipal agreement for My Brother's Keeper program. Introductory number 62, authorizing a mandatory agreement for the loaned use of a foam trailer and equipment for fire suppression. Introductory number 65, authorizing an agreement for a boxing demonstration program. This is respectfully submitted by Councilmember Mitch Gruber, Councilwoman LaShaye Harris, Councilwoman Jacqueline Ortiz, Council President Lorenzi Scott, and myself, Willie J. Lightfoot.
Thank you, Vice President Lightfoot. That report will be received, filed, and published, and we'll proceed with the vote. Introductory number 57, legislation appropriating federal forfeiture funds for community programs. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 58, legislation for a grant agreement and amending the 2019-20 budget for Project Clean. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 59, legislation authorizing a grant agreement and donation for the Rock City Skate Park. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 60, legislation authorizing an agreement for a tour of historically black colleges and universities. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 61, legislation for an intermunicipal agreement for My Brother's Keeper program. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 62, legislation for an amendatory agreement for the loan of a foam trailer. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Introductory number 65, legislation for an agreement for a boxing demonstration program. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 8-0. Is there any miscellaneous business to come before City Council? There being none, this meeting is adjourned.